they decided to embrace fire. Inside the fortress, a massive pyre was lit, led by Padmavati. You know, history is filled with tales of kings and their glorious conquests, of empires built and empires lost. But what if I told you the most powerful story isn't about an empire, but about the one thing an emperor could never conquer? This is the story of a queen whose name is whispered on the winds of Rajasthan even today, Rani Padmavati. Our story begins not with war but with love. Padmavati wasn't just a woman, she was poetry in motion, a princess of the Singhal kingdom, now Sri Lanka. Her beauty was said to be so legendary it was like a myth come to life, and it was this myth that reached the ears of a noble Rajput king, Maharawal Ratan Singh of Chittor. He was so captivated by the tales of her grace and intellect that he journeyed across the sea to win her hand. And he did. Their love story was the stuff of legends, a perfect union of two souls. They returned to the magnificent fort of Chittor, a fortress city perched atop a hill, a symbol of Rajput pride and strength. For a time there was peace, music shifts becoming more tense and ominous. But legendary beauty is a double-edged sword. It attracts not just admirers but also covetous eyes. And the most dangerous eyes in all of Hindustan belong to the tyrannical Sultan of Delhi, Alauddin Khilji, a ruthless, ambitious man obsessed with possessing every rare treasure in the world. When a banished courtier from Chittor, seeking revenge, described Padmavati's unparalleled beauty to Khilji, the Sultan's obsession ignited. He decided he had to have her, to make her the prized jewel of his harem. Chittor wasn't a strategic target for him. Padmavati was. He marched his colossal army to the gates of Chittor, not for land, but for a woman he had never even seen. The siege was long and brutal. The Rajput warriors, though outnumbered, fought with a ferocity that shook the Sultan's army. But Khilji was cunning. He offered a truce with one strange condition. He just wanted a single glimpse of the queen whose beauty had launched 1,000 ships, or in this case, a massive army. Ratan Singh, to save his people from further bloodshed, reluctantly agreed. But Rajput honor would not allow a strange man to gaze upon the queen. So a clever arrangement was made. Khilji would only be allowed to see Padmavati's reflection in a series of mirrors. He saw the reflection, and for a fleeting moment he was awestruck. But that glimpse didn't quench his obsession, it inflamed it. In a treacherous act of betrayal, he captured Ratan Singh during a supposed farewell gesture and sent a message to Chittor, Padmavati for the king. Music swells with defiance and tragedy. This was the moment that would echo through eternity. Padmavati was faced with an impossible choice: surrender herself to save her husband and become a trophy of a tyrant, or uphold the honor that was more sacred to her and her people than life itself. She made her choice. She sent a message back to Khilji agreeing to his terms, but with conditions of her own. She would arrive with her retinue of 700 handmaidens. As the 700 palanquins or covered litters left Chittor for the Sultan's camp, Khilji celebrated his victory. But when the palanquins opened, it wasn't handmaidens who emerged. It was 700 of Chittor's finest warriors, swords drawn, with Padmavati having masterminded a daring rescue mission. They freed their king, but the victory was short-lived. The final, devastating battle was now inevitable. The men of Chittor knew they were facing certain death, so they donned saffron robes, the color of sacrifice, and rode out for their last stand. And the women of Chittor, led by their queen, Padmavati, they made a choice that still sends shivers down the spine. Rather than face capture and dishonor at the hands of the invading army, they decided to embrace fire. Inside the fortress, a massive pyre was lit. Led by Padmavati, thousands of women dressed in their wedding finery walked into the flames in an act of mass self-immolation known as Jauhar. They chose honor over life, a fiery death over a life of subjugation. When Khilji and his army finally breached the fort, they weren't met with the treasures and the queen they expected. They were met with an eerie silence, the smell of ash, and the ghosts of a people who valued their honor more than an entire empire. He had won the fort, a hollow, empty victory, but he had lost. He had conquered the stone, but the spirit of Chittor, the legend of Padmavati, had defeated him forever. It's a haunting reminder that some things, like honor, can never be conquered.